Alright, good morning everybody. Welcome to another episode of Damage Control. This is Mookie, joined with two gentlemen of my alliances here. We got Dale with us, special guest Dale, and usual suspect Darth Beaver. And we're going to break down the patch. I mean, everything that's been going on with Marvel Strike Force this past week. We just want to kind of summarize and kind of give our opinions, see if it's a hit, if it's a miss. But really kind of break down, and I think the heavy topic today is going to be all about the Death Scourge. So, going to pick Darth's brain, see what he wants to do with the Minion nodes, and there's some other slight curveball. You got to pay attention that there's some updates on some other nodes that I'll bring up on the blog post. So with that being said, let's introduce the gentleman here. How's it going, Darth?
Good morning.
Morning, Darth. And what's up, Dale? How are you doing?
Good, how are you?
I'm good, man. I'm scatterbrained with this audio. I hear that echo, but I'm gonna just try to bear with it, man. All right, so let's bring up the gameplay here, and I guess I'm gonna start with this particular event as we're kind of winding down on the Dark Beast one, and I'll start with you, Dale. I want to know overall your opinions off of it. I mean, did you like this? This Blitz event, the web kind of event, kind of gives you some extra points towards it if you're monitoring that. But overall, I mean, how are you doing with the Dark Beast?
It's grindy, but it's not too bad. I'm at like 138,000 points, I think, right now.
Okay. Dang. Okay. How about you, Darth? Where are you at?
153,000. I've been on my Blitz game for the past 5 days. But in the same token, I've ignored the Ghastly Experiments one, the power core spinning event, and I've literally only used power cores that I would normally use during the day. I've just completely ignored that side because we're gonna have another campaign event coming up, and we just ended the Nakia one, so I figured that I can skip a power core spinning event in order to have a little bit more resources for the character campaigns.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, this one, I guess I've been going pretty aggressive, but I'm really not targeting it as far as spinning power cores either. I'm going usual bore, and my usual playing style. But the core, some of the power cores are going to be going to this coordinated assault. I have a question. Well, what's your opinion about this? Are you kind of hating it? Do you like it? The coordinated assault? Do you wish they just do away with it?
Yeah, I hate coordinated assault. I don't like it that it's a month-long milestone and it gives the T4 blue ions, and I gotta beg my guys to spend a little extra cores at the end and get it done. You know the mad dash we had last Friday. Both of you guys do. We did it, and we cleared it, and it's great. And we're not the kind of alliance that I'm going to get into guys' DMs every day and be like, hey, you need to spend your ISOs. Like that's part of the reason people like to be in the alliance we're in, because we're competitive casual, and within that means that we'll get there hopefully, but I'm also not bugging the shit out of these guys because they're dads and professionals and things like that, and they've got much bigger things on their plate than this video game that we all play together.
Yeah.
So that's what I don't like, because if it's just you, that's fine. I can spend all the power cores that I want or spend money to complete it if that's what I really want to do. I can't ask the rest of my alliance to do that.
Yeah. No, I mean it's becoming more and more annoying, right? Each month, twice a month we got to worry about that. Yeah. So again, what's up, Zumi? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
If they had left it at 100,000 points, it would have been fine. Like then, I don't think there would be anything. But when they added, 40 more percent to it, now it's 141,000 points to clear it. It just makes it to the point where they're definitely phasing people out of that very nice currency there. And it's not just the snowballs. The snowballs are important too, but for me, mostly it's that blue 4 ions, because I want to get a baby apocalypse when he comes out.
Yeah. Okay. But yeah, for those jumping into the chat, I'm sorry about the echo. I'm using a different headset, and I don't know how to fix it, man. don't. Before I didn't have any audio with the guys this morning, so I'm just kind of winging it. So I apologize. There's my blitz timer. So, all right. I'm gonna double check. I mean, I think the real thing I really want to just jump into it. I mean, this is the new patch. Um, I guess what I want to know is the characters a little bit, Darth. There were the updates that we're getting with like Captain Sam, Winter Soldier, and it's all kind of fitting with this new team, Rebirth. Have you even paid attention to start updating Captain Sam or Winter Soldier, or what are you gonna do with this team?
Let's see. I've hearted Winter Soldier and Captain America, but I'm going to shelf this team, man. I got too many other things I'm trying to spend resources into right now, and we talked about it last week. The things that Rebirth does, like in their kit, at least, like they're sold as a bio raid team. Well, for 4.3 or 3.3, whatever we're doing right now, my Web Warriors and Gamma are getting the job done that I need them to get done. So I'm not going to push any more into them right now. Now I will collect as many character shards as I absolutely can, and I will be ready at some point because I will have to have them eventually. I'm not pooping on this team saying they're garbage. I'm saying they're probably great. They're not probably. They're great, and they're going to be the best option for the bio raid lanes. But they're not going to be the best. I mean, they're not going to be necessary until 3.4, 3.5. So as far as how our alliance is doing things and the pace at which we're pushing through the raids, I don't see me needing them for another 3 or 4 months at least.
How about you, Dale? You doing anything with this team?
I'll be shelving for the most part unless they show any other uses. Like if they're a killer Crucible team, I'll probably end up building them up because that seems to be my major focus nowadays.
Let me just jump into the blog post. I'm not gonna go into every single detail of what's coming up. I mean, I'm just gonna skip over to the real hot item and what everybody's excited about, and even on the chat, we got Zoomy asking, really curious about this Minion. Darth and Dale, you're sounding amazing. So yeah, I'm gonna fool around with the settings, but go ahead and as I'm bringing it up here, just overall, to tell me what your game plan is gonna be for the Minions.
You want to go first, Del?
I'm not sure. I'm still on the wait and see approach, I think.
Okay.
I mean, I've built up Ravagers decent amount, and so I'll probably try to use them and maybe Mercs for the first quick run. Hopefully that works fine. Hopefully I don't have to do too much more investment besides that. But AIM seems like the good bet with the Scourges, but I don't know.
I saw that Pathfinder video as well. I don't know that I necessarily agreed with that for sure, but I'm trying to use as few extra resources as possible with my minions. So I have a big Stitcher and I have a big Boomer and Bruiser now. I pushed my Bruiser to level 80 gear 15 this week, actually just last night. But that's because they're the most useful team outside of this Scourge right now, those 3. And then from there, I looked and said, okay, what other minions do I have close, or what minions do I have huge red stars on that will give me the most value for the resources I'm about to invest? So like you, I have the 3 Ravagers and Merc Lieutenant and Merc Ryguard set to the side as a team. But then I've also, because I have some pretty big stars on some of my Hydra members, and I had built Grenadier to a reasonable level when I was using them to counter the old Taskmaster Mercs. It's worked out that he just got bumped to 15 as well the other day, and now because I have 6 red star on the medic, I'm going to bump him to the same level. But that's because I plan on getting a 6 star on the first pass through. Those plans don't always come to fruition, but for 2 of the 3 it has, and I assume that with the roster that I've built, as long as the minions aren't the holding point, I'll be fine and should be able to do that, because I've gone crazy with my war dogs, and and the other harder part, which is the non-legendary mutants. As an in-game player, I have a lot of characters that are built up to 15 or 16 already. It's also 2 of our horseman teams are mutants, so there's 3 legendaries on those 2, so there's a pool of 8 characters or 7 characters already that you're going to have to bring to 16. I understand that Nemesis just came out and free-to-play people don't have him, but he has one of those kits that seems to probably push himself and some of those other members a little closer to the top, especially because he's a brand new character and they stat creep every time, so he's going to have the biggest, best stats. And his health steal and things like that are going to be pretty amazing. But there, I think that if you can see it, that's my minions. No, it's not. That's Mookie's. Ours are just similar. Because I also have a Gear 16 Stitcher. So, but that's the overall plan. There's a few teams that I've come up with for the minions seem to be the smaller of my 2 worries, I think, for most people. So there it is. There's mine. So that's what my minions are looking at right now. Nothing really big. You can see the shield minions haven't been invested in since they were war defense meta. Even those Hydra minions, like I said, they're only there because of their big stars. But like those top 8 characters are what I plan on getting through those first 2 nodes with.
Yeah, I'm leaning towards kind of Dale's aspect here. I mean, this is my roster on the Minion side of things. Real quick, just taking a look. I'm sitting on it, and it's one of those things. It's like, do you want to be patient and wait to kind of see how it unfolds, or do you want to dive in? Because this is coming up on Friday, and I know one thing about you, Darth, is you're not as patient as I am. And so when I kind of toggle back and we look at your roster, you're definitely going in with the Ravager Merc kind of setup. But you think these Hydra characters, you say you're coming in with the top 8? So it's going to include Hydra, Sniper, and Grenadier?
No, just Grenadier and Scientist. Yeah, not Sniper. I think he missed you. But yeah, because Scientist gives Grenadier extra health pool and stuff like that on his passive, and he'll heal him on every turn. And I think he leaves heal block on his basic. Like, there's a few things about him, and it's literally just because he's 6 red stars, and I already had him very close. Like, I didn't have to put any gold into him to get him to 13, just a little bit of gear.
Oh, gotcha.
Same thing with my Grenadier. I didn't have to put any gold into him because that was when I was trying to boost his damage above Zemo's, so that Taskmaster would target him with a taunt and kill him, and then Zemo would and then Red Skull would bring him back in that old counter. So he was already boosted a lot higher than a lot of my other minions. So it was easy to just slap the gear onto him now.
Okay.
So, and he's got a great big damage stat. So I'm hoping that maybe some of his damage, he's got his kit's not bad. He'll remove some positive effects and he'll do some reasonable damage.
Yeah.
I don't think it's the best choice.
Do you feel that you're going to have like a full 2 complete teams? Like have to get 2 more to have like 5 in? I don't want to say like a suck team, but
I'm hoping not. I'm hoping that at least the 3 Ravengers will survive, and I'll be able to pick and choose from the other 2 packs that I have there to the side, or some other characters to help them get through. I'm hoping that my Stitcher will help carry through and do all the big heals and a lot of big damage. Like I said, I got it planned out so at least those 3 Ravengers hopefully survive, and then I can put 2 other minions in their spot.
Okay. Yeah, so it's funny because our roster does look alike on the Minion side. So I was kind of getting confused between the 2 here that I'm staring at. I think, I mean, here's just my honest approach. What I'm doing as we kind of wind down this week. I'm gonna start leveling them like towards 70. Like I'm gonna work with the same mercs, Merc Riot Guard, Lieutenant, and Soldier. And then I'm gonna bring in Ravager Stitcher, and I'm gonna work on Boomer here. But I think I'm gonna put them just at level 70, right around the G13. I even kind of paused at putting them at G13. I may just leave them at 12 at least at the bare minimum. The one team that I really want to work on is the AIM squad. I've been hearing some stuff. I haven't seen Pathfinder's video, but Dale, I mean, well, what's the theory behind AIM? I think you mentioned them. You just said that they they're more like in unison together, or what's the purpose behind
A
aim?
lot of the scourges benefit them, and there was one scourge that pretty much makes you have Scientist Supreme without having to have her. So makes you reverse the negatives.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, that may not be a thing. Like I said, I'm gonna wait. I'm not gonna invest in things I don't want to invest into. They're not gonna help me.
Pathfinder said there's a scourge, and there's a scourge that all negative effects get flipped on turn, and it doesn't say if it's on that character's turn or on any character's turn. So it's very ambiguous as to your definition of what that exactly means. But at least that means by the time it's their turn, all of those negative effects that they put on each other and that the other team puts on them will be flipped. And there is adjacency bonuses, I think, with Assaulter. So if you stuck him in the middle, there's a Magneto on the first node and there's a Polaris on the second node, and they will group all of your characters, and then every character can be adjacent to Aim Assaulter, and every character can get that on-turn bonus. And I think his passive says that on turn give 20% speed bar to all adjacent minion allies.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Or aim allies, not minion allies, sorry. So that's the thing with that. If you put that T4 in it and then they get grouped, they're all getting big swaths of turn meter every time he goes. And it should and the thought is that it might speed them up enough to handle the node. But as far as stats are concerned and things like that, aim is very far down on the list.
Yeah.
They're the wettest paper towel of the wet paper towels. And I do like what Pathfinder said. He says, as shiny as you put it, it's still a turd. So they're all of these teams are turd teams. Some are just a little shinier than others.
Yeah, that's the best way to put it. I think my audio, I'm just gonna try to speak as less as possible because I can't fix that echo. But and I don't have a screenshot. That's what I was looking for. But there is something I believe you kind of mentioned a little bit, Darth, as far as on the later difficulties. Is it on difficulty 5 or 7 when you get the non-legendary mutants?
Yeah, that's the second one. I got a screenshot of some teams I'm going to use. I can send over real quick.
All right.
I set up a Scourge.
Does sound rather
Team
challenging. It'll be interesting to see what the nodes turn out to be.
Yeah, let's take a look here. I think he mentioned it, like Darth mentioned something about with the Nemesis kind of playing into that. Let me see. Here's my mutant. I mean, because it's crazy, right? Each mutant team has like a legendary on it.
Yeah.
That completes them. And I'm wondering if Uncanny overall would be kind of the answer right off the cuff is what I'm thinking of. When you get Bishop, Beast, and
They're one of the big period teams. Also Marauders because they don't lose anything.
True. And I think this particular lady might be a game changer in that particular node. She's so annoying on the doom rates.
That's another character they made for them. She's so useless for us and so unfun for us, and she's so damn dangerous on the other team.
Yeah. Yeah, but anyways, I mean, let me see. Did you send something over here, Darth? Yeah, let me.
I sent you a screenshot of some of my teams we're gonna use. I'm planning on using for the minions and the mutant nodes in Scourge.
All right. Here it is.
So there's my top team. That's like you said, that's the Uncanny team, and I think there's a lot of hidden synergies there that they've got the most play because Beast is an Uncanny X-Men. They're all X-Men. Every member at the top there is Uncanny. Beast has synergy with Storm, where it's only a 50% chance she loses her charges on a stun. Being Scourge mode, if you don't land a bunch of stuns, you restart the node because it's her first turn. Magic is going to give her all those charges. It won't take a whole node to get her up to 20 charges to maybe nuke the second node. Wolverine with his stat increase is a beast. The Colossus on my roster is the one that I may or may not switch out with a different mutant of some kind, with a different X-Men. Maybe Polaris. There's a thought that she could go there instead of him because she's recently been reworked and things like that. But I don't think that at the level I'm going to be attempting this, that I'm going to have one team that's going to run through both nodes. So I went and set up my top 5 mutant teams that I think I'll use in the way and on the team that I'll use, which is what we see in front of us. So I think that Uncanny is going to be the best because Beast is a healing machine, and he's going to be giving all those buffs and doing all of the things that he does for Axemen to the rest of those Uncanny. And then, like I said before, we've got 2 mutant teams that are Horseman teams. So you've got all of Unlimited, and so I just stuck Bishop with them. I wasn't sure what to do. Emma is going to be a great 5th on any of these teams that are missing a legendary. So Emma would probably work very well in place of Bishop there, but I was trying to keep her down with the new Death Seed members to see what I could do. Like I said, once you start getting down, I think those top 2 teams are going to be pretty tough, minus Bishop. And then the 3rd team maybe, because they are a full team that works out, and you can put Sabretooth on there, who has recently got that stat rework, and he is a killing machine. But there's a lot of different places that Emma in particular can go. She's going to be like the master key, I think, to what you're going to do, and you're going to want to use her very wisely if you're trying to get that very top star run, because I think that her kit is going to be very important for those nodes, no matter what. It doesn't matter what's on the nodes. Her speed manipulation, and her blind and her cleanse are too valuable, I think, to overlook or waste in a spot that she's not needed. So as far as she's concerned, I'm going to try to get through the nodes without her first. And if I can't, she will be the first piece I bring in to try to get through the nodes.
All right. Good breakdown there. I think that's the only last curveball, right? I mean, we're dealing with the minions on node 1 and 2. This non-legendary one, mutants, that you're breaking down is going to be on node. Actually, let me bring this up. I'm going to bring something up that just came in here from Tana. Alright, so in sequence. So yeah, we've got the minions on node 1 and 2, and apparently data mine, this is kind of showing what the waves are going to be. Okay, I mean, again, we don't know yet. It's just rumors, but data mine rumors. So there we go with the minions. And then what you're just breaking down is node 6, non-legendary mutant. And then the other thing is that 5 and 10, and that's kind of what I'll just kind of wrap up as far as like planning here. What's your gut feeling that it's going to be the go-to team for nodes 5 and 10? Well, I guess I have you, Darth. What do you think? Are you starting to build up your roster setup the way you just did with the non-legendary mutants, or I mean, I guess you don't have to, just 2 separate teams, but
And they're 2 teams that I've pushed pretty far. I've got all my Bionic to Gear Tier 15, level 90, and I have my Wakanda to level 90 and Gear Tier 16 across the board. Or my War Dogs, excuse me, not my Wakanda. My M'Baku and Killmonger are still 14. So I'm ready to do both. I think that it's really going to depend on how fast you need to be. If you need to be fast out the gate to get it done, then you're going to want your Wakanda. But if they're slow out the gate and you can start getting rolling, Bionic Avengers, I think, will do it with their energy distribution and all of the control they have, the blinds from Viv, the bleeds out the wazoo, the slows, all of the barrier coming from Hulkbuster. I think that they have the option to be a longer sustaining choice. But I think that as far as burst damage and just knocking guys down, which it feels like a lot of the time, that's what these nodes come to for me with all the scourges on them. It's once they start actually taking turns, it doesn't matter what you're doing, they're going to kill you. So I think for me personally, it might be the Wakandas because my focus is going to be killing their characters first as quickly as I can so that I don't immediately die.
yeah. How about for you, Del? I know last Sunday we started talking about the Wakandans and the kind of typical Darth style. He kind of made you get a little bit outside your comfort zone. You started upgrading some into the teal gear, right?
Yeah, all of the War Dolls are teal 16. And I've started doing something the past few days that I've been wanting to do, but I may be correct. Watching Purple Sticky has made me want to get Killmonger up there
Interesting.
for
Best
Crucible
offense team. Yep, Crucible offense. Him instead of
Yes.
McKean
So
makes that team disgusting.
today I'll have him up to 90, and then tomorrow I'll do all his. He'll do his 15 and 16, and the T4s I need on him.
Yeah, and I think what I like about this, about the Node 5 and 10 teams that we're breaking down, is that it's not like a loss of investment, right? I mean, like, especially on the Crucible and how aggressive this is becoming. So this kind of feels good, and I can see why there's negative sentiment towards the Minions. But I guess that's one I kind of want to last kind of close off everything. It's just, especially when, like, I like hearing Darth's perspective on the thing. I mean, about the Minions, did that overly get you upset about having to use a resource off on that, or is that kind of expected as far as like just keeping a well-rounded team that they have to make it difficult, right, for you to pick and choose? But what's your overall feeling or sentiment towards having to put resources on your Minions, Darth?
I guess it guided my thing. So it's I want to if I'm going to spend resources, I want to spend them on the most useful characters that there are. And currently, right now, today, the most useful minions are the 3 Ravagers. And probably the 2 Mercs, the Lieutenant and Rangard, are probably the most useful. None of these other minions get used anywhere for me except for Blitz. So, thankfully, I had some, like I said, pretty pre-built from other war counters and things like that. So it wasn't too hard for me to, like I said, but all I did was invest gear. I have invested no gold and no training mats into any of them except for Bruiser in the past week. But it sucks. Nobody likes that. But at the same time, maybe it sucks because the 2 teams they gave us for 5 and 10 are both incredibly useful and incredibly valuable, and there's no wasted resources there at all. As where I probably put too much into my Dark Hunters. I probably put too much into my A-Force and things like that. So there was wasted investment there, as where these 2 teams, I don't see any wasted investment because raids are important and Crucible is important.
Mm-hmm. Yep. All right. Well, let me kind of step away from all that. I mean, that's more to come. This is off Friday. And again, just looking at my roster, I'm sticking with those Mercs and the Ravengers, but I'm very on the backside of things. I am going to be working on AIM. I think I just feel that there's going to be an AIM rework overall down the road. I mean, maybe that's me just trying to justify things, but I mean, we've been hearing it for a while, and it just, because of this whole Minion thing, it just kind of feels that's the direction that eventually is going to happen with AIM, with MODOK, right? I think they keep hearing that term.
Part
That's him.
part of the problem is they're saying that the typical MODOK design isn't doable in this game.
Hmm.
That is the word behind the scenes. That's why they haven't done it yet. And the other thing is MODOK is supposed to be an Ant-Man and the Wasp movie. So they're probably going to use him, and it sounds like he's going to be different than he is in the comics. So he may have a different origin, so he may not even be AIM if they do use the MODOK from that movie.
Well, the sad thing is, some other last theories is just using up your Red Star characters, but there's no way I'm going to be working the hand team with my hand Blade Master at Red 7 and the Kree Reapers. I'm not working on Kree Reapers, so I can't go off of that theory with the Red Star as much as I would love to.
I would say for your hand Blade Master, he does have some of the top stats as far as once you get up there with him. Like, because he recently had that little rework with Nobu, even though he's useless useless everywhere else.
Yeah. No, I laugh because
for
I
this,
touch mobiles. Someone right on Reddit posted up the best Minion characters, like top 10.
Mhm.
Yeah, it was number 1 on the list, so that made me smile, but it didn't make me want to really go in on it. All right. But yeah,
I tell you though,
yeah.
if I had a 7 red on him, he'd be gear 15.
Yeah. All right, man. You're not gonna push me that way.
I'm just saying. I'm not trying to push you. I'm just saying that's what I would do.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're gonna wrap it up towards this last part of things, just kind of giving Darth some flowers here. But this is what she shared over to us. You made your promotion there, man, on Masters, so congratulations to you for the Cosmo the Cosmic Crucible League. I mean, you went 3-0? Tell us about this week.
3-0 2 weeks in a row. That's how I climbed up there. I just got lucky. I the only thing I can say is that I've been constantly evolving. Every time I run into a defense that gives me a whack load of trouble that I didn't see, I'm gonna do my best to incorporate that into my game plan somehow. Because I'm not the greatest player, but I'm a fairly high level player, and I spend enough time in this game that I know kits and I know what characters do, and not too many things catch me off guard and catch me by surprise. And so I try to steal those ideas because I'm not very original, and I incorporate them into my own defensive plan, and that's been very successful for me because the things that I've stumbled on other people's rosters, the strange little team that you didn't think you were going to stumble on, yet you get a loss on it, that's what's been winning me the Crucibles. It's not my Gamma for the most part. It's not my Tangled Web team. It's my Uncanny X-Men with Wolverine. Because Wolverine comes out and kills everybody before they know. And because they don't plan on that, because they're thinking about, I gotta kill Storm, or I've got to do this. And then my Gear 16 Wolverine comes out and puts big bleeds out, and their team melts on accident. That's exactly what happened to me.
Well, I definitely got some game planning to do and adjustments that you've been focusing on. I mean, I've been surviving just barely. Like, I went 2-1 this week. Last prior 2 weeks, I went 1-2. So that gets me to this stage here where we got our all friendly Mr. Hargrave. So
That's right. That's so cool. I'm so jealous that you get to face our alliance mates and Mr. Hargrave. Like, it's like, to me, it's pretty cool because I'm gonna watch Mr. Hargrave at some point next week. Hopefully, take on your team. I know there's a chance he won't, but man, I'm hoping that you guys get matched off so that I get to watch. I mean, you should too. I would love to watch somebody attack my defense and hear him talk shit about it. That would be so grand.
Yeah.
That'd be very cool.
Yeah. It makes me feel a little slightly pressure to be like, all right, I gotta start working on this defense here a little bit.
Tell you what, you better have yourself a really good Infinity Watch counter ready to go because he's got a giant Infinity Watch and it is on defense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, see, I haven't even seen his videos, his Cosmic Crucible, so I have no idea what he's setting up.
He's very unorthodox.
Yeah, no,
he's got a
kind of like his ward, right? I remember seeing his ward defense, how it was all unorthodox. He just throws stuff to try to confuse you, right? He just was to confuse the opponent.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. But I don't know. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I feel like I gotta. I remember Dale kind of mentioned last week about putting out Tangle Web. Kept them there, but I'm thinking I should pull them off.
Yeah, I still haven't done that.
Okay.
I'm surprised your Wakanda's on defense.
See that part right there too. So what we're staring at are my questionable stuff that I have to ponder over this weekend, and try to figure out which one of the two I'm gonna take as my offensive team. I don't know. Figure it out. All right, but that's about it. I'm gonna cut this one short because of the whole audio situation there. I mean, I feel bad, especially with Zoomy and then with the others who were joining on in the chat. Shout out to you guys bearing with it here. Don't worry about me. That was the other one. So I apologize for the audio, but for those, I'll get this up on the YouTube channel. Apologize to y'all too. Something I was tinkering with and it backfired on me this morning. So yeah, so much for all that audio. But y'all take it easy. Good luck with everything with the Death Scourge, with your Cosmic Crucible trials this week. I mean, yeah, it got extended to February, so definitely gonna continue to figure out what I want to do offensively, defensively on that. But till then, y'all take it easy. We'll see y'all next Sunday. All right, bye bye.